What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K back again with a breaking video in regards to Ubisoft. If you guys have not seen the news, let's get right to it. Here it goes right here. This comes to us courtesy of Shinobi on Twitter. It says Ubisoft is forming a new subsidiary company in partnership with Tencent. The subsidiary is valued at $4.3 billion and includes IPs like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Tencent is investing a 25% stake in the company. So if we go to the actual article that this is being quoted from, it says here, let's make this bigger for you guys here. Tencent acquires 25% stake in Ubisoft's new gaming subsidiary. It says Ubisoft Entertainment, the French video company, announced on Thursday that it is forming a subsidiary with an enterprise value of approximately $4.3 billion. This new entity will include popular game franchises such as Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Chinese multinational conglomerate Tencent Holdings is set to invest $1.6 billion for 25% stake in this newly formed subsidiary. In exchange for a royalty, the new entity will hold licenses for the intellectual property of the games. Ubisoft, established by the Guillemot family in France, has been actively seeking new investors for its video game properties. The value of this new unit exceeds the current enterprise value of Ubisoft, indicating a significant milestone for the company. Ubisoft views Guillemot shared enthusiasm about the developing, stating, today Ubisoft is opening a new chapter in its history. This is a foundational step in changing Ubisoft's operating model that will enable us to be both agile and ambitious. The new subsidiary will not only include the teams working on the mentioned titles, but will also manage the back catalog and forthcoming games under development. This strategic move by Ubisoft and Tencent's investment marks a significant movement in the gaming industry. Okay. So the reason why this is important is, as you guys know, and if you follow this channel, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of the Ubisoft open world platform vision. I'm a huge fan of the Division, the RPG nature of Assassin's Creed. Like I really loved Odyssey. Not too much of a fan of Valhalla, even though that's their most successful one, and I'm enjoying Shadows. I love the Ghost Recon franchise. I love their military tactical shooters and stuff like that. I love that stuff, right? But as of late, Ubisoft has put out some stinkers, who I think is their best development team, Massive, the people behind the Division and Division 2. They did Star Wars Outlaws and they did the Avatar games, both very mediocre experiences to me. I just feel like that Ubisoft grabbed those IPs because they had big ticket names next to them and just rushed out games, just thinking that they could put any run-of-the-mill slop out there and that casual gamers would buy it up, and it has not proceeded that way. And then some of their other titles that they've put out there recently have not hit the mark. I'm not quite sure if Skull and Bones has seen any success. It just doesn't look like that they've hit a stride as of yet. They've tried to put out X Defiant. They've changed it drastically at the retail release. You guys know that I was part of the play testing when it first came out. Loved the first iteration of it, but they completely changed it into something that was trying to directly be a Call of Duty clone in many ways, and it didn't work. So yeah, they haven't put their best foot forward. And a lot of people have suspected that, most of you, let's be real here, most of you have suspected that was just because they were creatively bankrupt. They didn't know what they were doing. They were trying to do new stuff and it just wasn't working. But it just seemed like ever since Ghost Recon Breakpoint that they've been on this steady decline where it was hard for them to put out anything good new. Like, they did updates to Division 2 and updates for things were great, but Watchdog Legions, a bunch of stuff was just fell flat. But there were some of us that were a little bit more keen. We understand the business sense of what's going on, and we were not ready to jump on that excuse. It looked like, and I'll just say allegedly, it looked like Ubisoft and Tencent let the bad press come out there, make it seem like they would purposely put predictions out there or estimates out there of games that were just unfathomable, didn't make any sense. So purposely, they could always underperform on the market, and that drives down the stock price. That lower stock price allows Tencent, in this theory, it allows Tencent to be able to continue to absorb portions of Ubisoft because Ubisoft was being traded on the market. It allows Tencent to buy portions of Ubisoft at a heavily discounted price. This theory came to light because a group called AJ Investments came out of the woodwork and said, look, we got investments in Ubisoft just so we can take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. And it looks like that the stock is undervalued. There's a whole bunch of mismanagement. And then it's done to the behoof of the investor. I mean, it's done to the host to the public trader, but the private investor in Ubisoft, they're going over like fat rats. I'm paraphrasing here, right? So once that got exposed, then Ubisoft was like, well, we might sell some things off, and then a lot of us again were like, okay, this rumor or this leak that they're selling things off could only be smokescreen. Like ultimately, a lot of us felt like that what was going to happen was Tencent, for pennies on the dollar, was going to get market access to Ubisoft, and them two somehow, some way would create a partnership or something would happen, and then they would invest into Ubisoft, we thought, together. Well, it ends up happening is that they created the Subsidiary where Tencent is 25% stakeholder on it, and they get royalties on the in publishing rights, right? And then so therefore they were able to do that. And I don't even know if this subsidiary is going to be publicly traded. Ubisoft, the main company, may be publicly traded, but this subsidiary may not be publicly traded. So what ends up happening is they don't have to perform to market standards anymore. All that internal stuff gets to remain secret with the private investors if this new subsidiary is not publicly traded, right? Because the thing was, it wasn't that Ubisoft wasn't making money. That's what people that were unfamiliar with business, that's what they were telling you. Ubisoft was making money. They just weren't making as much money as they were making it seem. That, well, I won't say making it seem. They weren't making as much money as they were forecasting. That's different. If I forecast some ridiculous amount and then I don't make it, but I'm still making money, that just affects me on the market. And so you have a situation where the stock price was just dropping astronomically, but these guys didn't hardly make any moves. They didn't hardly, we got companies shedding 1,900 people, and, Ubisoft let some people go, but nowhere near where we're seeing with more market successful companies. It just wasn't making sense. But most of you that are on the other end of this mic, you did not understand that because you don't understand the business sense. So here we are today. We had people all over the spectrum, people that I like, kept saying Ubisoft is trouble and Ubisoft is in trouble and they didn't understand the business. So this end result lines up pretty much with what we had suspected. They were not going to have a garage sale and auction everything off. Ubisoft gets to continue as they were, and they did so in a way that slyly, in our estimates and our allegedly slyly from our estimates and our analyzing the situation, it allows them to convert the business of the Ubisoft games without them having to be on the market. And it's like AJ Investments said, the investors were the ones that were, bamboozled in all this, if this is true. Here's what I want to do. This is a conversation that I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, I'm really holding my temperament about this because I am frankly annoyed at how idiotic the gaming community is when it comes to business. We are too aloof. Our business acumen is horrific. It's disgusting. And these companies keep getting away with stuff. And if all this that is being assumed is true, you're going to have more companies try stuff like this. What is this that they're trying? What's the big problem? What's the big issue? I'm going to talk about it with the members because this is not going to be PG at all. It's not going to be safe for work. And I want to do it with the members. Okay. You want to be part of this discussion, you want to hear it, hit the join button. People know I've been salivating about this. I just mentioned it to my Discord members. You're going to see an MM2K that you haven't seen. So it may take me a couple of days, but get in on this before I go into this. We gotta get, and I'm stumbling over my words because I'm really trying to keep my composure. We really got to get better at this business stuff. We really do. We got to at least understand the frontline business things of how this works. We do so much yapping and so much talking, and we don't understand how anything works, and it's upsetting. I'll just leave it at that. Hit the join button. Get ready. Content is forthcoming. I just want to observe this a little more. Make sure we got all our ducks in a row to see what we're seeing, to ensure that's what it is. But I'm just telling you right now, allegedly, this is what it's looking like it's happening before. And if this looks like that it's happening now, this is what we assumed. And we'll be ready to talk about it once we make the full assessment. Thank you very much for listening to a subdued, trying to be calm MM2K. More to come. We got some great content coming tomorrow in the form of a podcast, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the premiere of that. And hope you guys enjoy the content. Hit that join button, because I'm telling you, we got content brewing everywhere. But that's it. I hope you guys appreciate that. Appreciate this. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.